Greetings all, Shardvixen here, and if I sound funny, it's because I got another plugged ear. So this is, what does the Vixen say? And today it's about dating questions. So I was, for a while, a really big online dater. I was a dater in chat rooms in the 90s, and you'd chat with people before there was online dating sites, and you would start chatting with people, and then we'd meet up if they were in the same city. I didn't meet a whole lot of people that were too far away. I think 100 miles was about it for me, just because it was always hard to get from one place to another. I did that when my daughter was small, and before that, I probably started online dating in the early 90s. We'll say the early 90s, because I know I did it before I had my daughter, but it wasn't really dating. It was just chatting. So it did really quick. Did my hair. All right. So this is a Paradise Peach, which is a pink. Paradise Pink is what it is. It's not. That's not the color. This is the pink on top of the blue and the pink that I had before. And Blue Jean, which always reminds me of Blue Jean Dreams. Blue jeans and teenage dreams. So that turned out kind of nice. Maybe the next one I'll do the yellow. What I do though is I change up the patterns of how I put the colors in, so they're not like the same colors, the same color combinations aren't going all the time. So, all right, so that was that brief thing. Anyway, back to online dating. So I have done online dating off and on, all kinds of different ones. One of my favorite was OkCupid for a while, and then they got sponsored, I guess would be how you say, and they changed up the format. Plenty of Fish, I did that for a while. I didn't like that one as much. I haven't tried any of the newer ones, like Bumble, I guess, is out there, and TikTok and Tinder. I haven't done any of those. I did one of them. Maybe I did Tinder right before I stopped doing any online dating. Anyway, so the questions are going to be dating questions that you are asked. Okay, so I took a break here because people knocking on my door and I gotta remember what I was talking about. Okay, so I was talking about online dating, and I don't know where I ended up, so I'm hoping that I ended up talking about how the ones I use and the ones I don't use, right? So, and my next door neighbor is having a bebop thing. You can't hear it, I don't think. Anyway, all right, so any of those have questions. All those online sites have questions. And even when I didn't do online dating, like I meet up with somebody and they'd say, hey, you know, we'd talk about something. They'd say, would you like to go out to dinner or whatever? You know, then you have questions. So some of the questions I found always kind of weird and hard to answer because I don't answer questions well, except for at interviews. And then I don't seem to answer questions well there either because I answer things oddly. So the way my brain works is if you ask me a question, right, and you could say it's only a yes or no question, I'm going to take forever to answer it because my brain's going to go, well, okay, wait, yes sometimes, no sometimes, maybe sometimes, but I can't answer maybe. I have to answer yes or no. And then I have to give you an explanation about why I answered yes or no, because I can't just say yes or no. I just can't. It's hard for me to do. I mean, if somebody says, do you like soda pop? Well, yeah, I like soda pop, but don't buy me a soda. Why not? You like soda pop? Because I'm not drinking soda right now. So technically you don't like soda. No, I like soda. I'm just not drinking it. There's a difference. But people don't see it that way sometimes. I have to tell you, before I start this, I have a background in communication. But for some god-awful reason, I can't make people understand me. I can teach other people to do communication, and people understand them well. But when I talk or write or do anything, writing is one of the few times people understand me after I've done a couple of edits. But for the most part, I seem to feel like I live in my own little world of communication, in that my translator breaks periodically. Because body language too messes me up. Because we've been taught that if people stand close to you, there's something about you that attracts them to you. If people stand further away from you, they're not very into you. Now, you have to give, of course, those areas about whatever. So, about how their personality is. Which this is a tangent. So, but anyway, so my communication styles are very odd, and I've had to work on them my whole life. I chalk it up to the fact that I wasn't allowed to talk a lot as a kid. Anywhere. So, and then when I would, it would be blah, 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 as in this vlog. Alright, so to get back to online dating question. First question. What would be a perfect date? I hate this question. I really do, because a perfect date would be based on the person and me. So for me, it's what's your perfect date, and let's see if it matches up. So my perfect date would be any date that I enjoyed myself at. But that doesn't really answer the question, does it? So I always have to give this one a thought, because I have to think about the person that's asking it. Now, so if a guy who says he's into rodeos asks me what my perfect date is, I don't think he wants to go to a movie and a dinner. I mean, he might. I mean, that might be the typical date. So, but that's not the perfect date. You know, my idea of a perfect date would be, this is as close as I can get. Going someplace where there's water. And then you got to think about, okay, so let's go back to perfect date. My idea of perfect date is someplace with water, nice lighting, it's comfortable weather. You know, I don't want to be at the lake and downpouring. I mean, it would be a great date, but if I can't get out to the water, if I can see the water, I'm probably okay. Okay, see, there I'm going again. It's like, well, it could be, maybe, sorta, might be. So we're supposed to do definite answers, right? These are definite answers. I just don't do definite answers. But we're supposed to do definite answers. This hair back here is bothering me, sorry. Okay. It looks funky, and whereas I know that seems weird because it's funky hair to begin with, it looks funky to me. Alright, so, but then, are they talking about a perfect date? Is that the perfect first date or just a perfect date? Because to me, a perfect first date would be different than a perfect date. A perfect first date would be where you and the person can go someplace where you can have communications and see how you act. And typically, to me, a first date is whoever asks the person out. And yes, I have no problem asking people out. I have done it. Would be to take a person someplace you either think they might like, which is hard to do on a first date, unless, of course, it is on an online site, and then that tells you how much you've actually read about that person's profile. Kind of a trick thing, right? Or their idea of a great date. So for me, a great first date, perfect first date, would be someplace that was not overly loud, so not a bar with a band, though I would go there with a bar and a band. I like that as kind of thing. But it would be more of a place where you could sit and have communications about stuff you like, to see if you wanted to have a second date. You know, to see why the person might be trying to get you out on a date. Like, my whole goal in life was to go on dates. I wanted to go on dates, but I either ended up having sex on the first date, or they never called me back. It doesn't seem to me like there was much of an in-between. If they did call me back, or we'd probably have, if we didn't have sex on the first night, we'd probably have sex on the second night, and then we'd have, there's a few guys I didn't do that with, because there was no click. There was no reason. I didn't find them interesting. I didn't want to spend time with them. I didn't want to be intimate in that aspect. Though, remember, sex doesn't always mean intimacy. It just means sex. And that's just a fun, lazy woohoo time. Anyway, so a perfect date, first date, would be like maybe a cafe on the river. You know, a nice quiet area. Maybe some favorite drink, favorite appetizers, nice park bench, sit and do a walk and just chat. Something like that. That would be a perfect nice date for me. But that's because I like to get to know people. I want to know people. I want to know what's going on inside their head. I want to know if they're trustworthy. I want to know if I, want to get to know them more. So that's me. So I'm a big question person. I'd be asking a lot of questions. It would be somebody who actively engaged me. Somebody who wanted to know more about me. Somebody that didn't want to just tell me about their life, but wanted to share. We could have communications like you do when you meet friends, because that's my thing. I got these little things going on here from losing weight. Look. Okay, another tangent. Sorry. So that would be a perfect first date. But an absolutely perfect date with a person that you already like would have to do with the ocean or a lake, or even going down to the creek and looking for tadpoles, going fishing, maybe on a boat. I have some phobias about boats, but maybe on a boat. I've gotten better with boats and people. I don't know if I'd want to go on a boat on the first date. It would depend on how interested I was in the person that was taking me out. So, I am very into romance, but the romance isn't that's typical romance style. I like the idea of a person who might want to know more about me and cares about the things I want, because that's how I am with other people. That's how I would be with somebody I meet. I want to know more about them and find the things that we can enjoy together. I have dated men who are so complete opposite of me, but we'd have one or two things that we really enjoyed doing together. I had a guy that I hung out with for a while. We went fishing all the time. There was another guy that I think I dated him for about 3 months or so, and we didn't actually date. We just show up and go places together. He'd bring friends, I'd bring friends, we'd do whatever, and we just did stuff. We went up and down California. For the most part, though, people very quickly get, I don't know if they get bored of me. They just we don't connect, because my mental health issues have a very hard time in connecting with people. It's been that way my whole life. It's like I have a little barrier, so it's hard. But going back to questions. Okay. So sometimes, though, on online dating, people want to get that first date chit-chat out of the way. So they'll ask you questions online, or the online sites ask you questions. So some of the questions, of course, what's your favorite color? I like all the colors in the rainbow. I'm more into color combinations than one set color. But if I had to pick only one color, the way I always looked at this question is, if you had a room and you had to pick only one color that whole room was going to be, what color would it be? And I guess it would have to be pink. I would probably want to do pink. Though the idea of having a room that was Pepto-Bismol pink just seems like bleh. But, I mean, if I had to pick a color, my question would then be, because then I'd be like, well, wait a minute, I have a question about that question. Because it's not a definite answer. Could that be one color in many shades? So in that case, it would totally be pink, because I could go so light pink it would be almost white with a hint of pink, to almost so dark it'd be magenta. And then you could do, I could do a whole room in that. But then I like other colors too. So I would want to do like pinks and browns, pinks and silvers, pinks and blues, pinks and blacks, the pop colors. So pink is my favorite first color, and the rest of the colors in the rainbow are my other colors. What's your favorite band? Oh, well, let's go back a little. What's your favorite music? That one always gives me a problem. And I have to always say I'm kind of eclectic in that aspect. I don't have a favorite music. I probably have more music in one genre than the other. So again, to clarify the question, to make it a definitive answer, I would have to say that I probably listen more to, at this time in my life, Celtic, folklore, heavy metal style music. And that still isn't a set type of genre. So, you know, steampunk kind of stuff. If I was, what's your favorite band? I have to say Rob Zombie, because if I have to pick the one person I listen to the most, that's how you do favorite. It's always going to be Rob Zombie. It's going to be his Hillbilly album. Do I have a favorite, you know, but see, here's the thing though. I have gone through bouts where I only listen to Salt and Pepper. Not lately, but in the past, you know, Guns N' Roses. For 3 months, I listened to one Guns N' Roses album because I was driving a lot, and it was a good driving music. When I went to school in Chico and back, I listened to Led Zeppelin, Rob Zombie, Sixpence. Is that what they were called? The B-52s. What's his name? Billy Idol. You know, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, throw it all. Johnny Cash, throw it all in. So, favorite song. That's always a hard one. I mean, there's people that have like a song, and I'm like, I don't think I have a song. I would have to put, if I had a song, I'd have to make it myself. It'd be pieces of all the songs I like squished together. I can't center on one. But again, the idea is if you had a room and you were only allowed to listen to one song over and over and over again, what song wouldn't drive you nuts? And I'd have to say probably one of the songs from the theme of The Last of the Mohicans. And I can't tell you which one without looking at the back, though I have them memorized in my head as which sound. It's probably the one of the battle at the beginning of the movie when he first meets her. Daniel Day-Lewis, the movie part, where he meets, what's her name? Can't remember her name. And they're fighting in the fort. There's the beginning, and it has the drums and the fiddle. That one. That would be my one song that I could listen to continuously. I don't know what that says about me, but probably a lot of weird stuff. Favorite food. Again, I don't know that anybody actually has one favorite food. Is there a food you could eat forever and never get sick of constantly? At least once every day? It would have to be soft serve ice cream. But I don't know if that counts as a food, because I would die if I ate just that. It used to be cream cheese and bagels, but I don't eat a lot of bagels anymore. Pizza? Pizza's you know, like, I could eat pizza probably every day. I think in this house, I used to like to have pizza, you know, once a week. I always thought about that. What would you eat? If you could only eat your favorite foods for a month, what would your favorite foods be? And it probably would have something to do with cheese, something to do with bread, maybe a meat, but I can usually do without a meat. I go, like, days, sometimes months without eating any type of meat at all. Potatoes, which are very bad for you. Potatoes give you that double chin. They give you the flappy arms. They give you the big fat thighs. Potatoes are bad for you, but potatoes, it'd have to be potatoes. It'd probably be cheese, potatoes, and some type of bread. Preferably rye or bagels. I mean, in fact, I would eat, you know, on spaghetti, I'd prefer bread and the spaghetti sauce without the noodles. And something sweet. Oh, wait, that's my soft serve ice cream. Yeah, soft serve ice cream, one of my favorites. In fact, the interesting thing about soft serve ice cream is everyone tastes different depending on the mix they use. I mean, some taste the same, and then how they mix it. But like Dairy Queens, and this is all in the United States, I've not had soft serve anywhere else. I've had Danishes other places, and I have to say the German Danishes were really good. Just like, and the cheeses in Germany were really good. They ate a lot of cheese and bread in Germany and Danishes, but not much ice cream when I was there. But that was in the late 80s. It was in the late 80s. Madonna was a thing then. Okay, so I don't know. What's another question real quick, and then we'll call it quits. This one cracks me up. I have to tell you, I have gotten it on every online dating site I've ever had, and it's okay. So the one question they always ask is, "What's your favorite kind of guy?" I mean, I don't know. I've tried different types of personalities, and I irritate them all. I would love to meet a person, I think, who was helpful but not controlling. Because every time I've gone out with people who I thought would be, they're helpful, help people, they like to help people, but in the end they want to control you when they're helping you, so I have an issue of that. Like they assume because I have a problem doing this thing, I can't do this thing. And that annoys me. I like probably more aggressive men, but I don't know, like that. I like Wolverine. That's what I like. That's probably the kind of guy I like, is Wolverine. And that's probably why I've never actually found anybody, because I can't find somebody that they have either this part of him and then everything else is shit, or they have this part of him and everything else is shit, or you have the people that don't communicate when they're angry. Can't do that. I have to have somebody talk to me. Because there was a lot of, in my past, as growing up, where people would get angry but never tell you what they were mad about. So you'd constantly be hitting that trigger, and you'd constantly be getting in trouble. And in an abusive household, that's very dangerous. So if you're mad at me, you got to yell at me, but I need you to stop and tell me exactly what's wrong so we can figure out how to work that out. So there's never really been a set what kind of guy you like. Does that mean I don't make lists? Because that's a big jokey, and if you ever get a chance to watch, maybe I'll talk about it. It's a movie, and it's I can't think of it now. The Ugly Truth. So in The Ugly Truth, the whole concept there is that women make lists. But they make lists because people are always asking questions. We ask ourselves questions about the people we want to go out with. I'm not dating currently. If I start to feel better, I might try another online site, or I might join some type of social group here. But right now I don't. I mean, I get lonely, that physical loneliness, but and I'd enjoy that whole courtshiping part, like the asking questions and enjoying. It's all the other shit afterwards that starts to get kind of problematic, because the time is not really, I don't have a whole lot of time, but then I don't have no time, so it's one of those things. Anyway, that's it. I hope you all had a wonderful, weird time following me on that. I might do some more of the dating questions, because there's tons of them. I mean, there are tons and tons of them. Those getting to know questions, because there's all kinds of getting to know questions, psychological questions. I did want to add to this series, I got some cards that have questions on them that I had when I was doing my kids groups. Yes, I used to do behavioral kids groups, friendship building, understanding the world, becoming a teenager, being a leader, those kind of things, group stuff. And I had questions that we would ask as a group and talk about. So I might do some of those too. Anyway, that's it. This one's a tad bit longer. I always tell you that because it happens a lot. And I'll catch you all on the flip side. Peace. And that's to Pooh, because he thinks it's horrible to have that repetitive goodbye and repetitive hello. I don't know if that's true or not.
No Man's Sky. Convergent 2019. Contests. Travelers wanted for the completion of tasks. There are 6 contests with prizes to be won. Contest 1. Convergence Appearance Modifier. Best Cosplay. Contest 2. Wonders of Earth. Best Build. Contest 3. No Man's Sky Fan Creation. Best Art Project. Contest 4. In the Eye of Atlas. Best Best Screenshot. Contest 5. Sounds of Space. Best Music Video. Contest 6. The Things I Have Seen. Best Mixed Media Picture. Good luck, traveler.